Chelsea Football Club, Xavi Simons is doing the one thing that I hate that players and clubs do, but it's going to force the move to Chelsea Football Club and we're all going to be happy with the transfer. Here we go, finally hits for Armando Broja. It came out of nowhere. I've got the club, I've got the price, and I've got my thoughts on why the deal is best for all parties. Christopher Enkungu, a lot of people think he's going to get pushed out of the club. Apparently, his agents are chatting to Inter Milan, but Enzo Maresca has asked and pleaded for a certain thing to happen. And finally, Geraldo Hato. It's gone very quiet after the here we go, but I've got positive news and the deal's all but complete. I'm going to explain. Before we get started, welcome to the Kavkas View. It's August, it's a new time. We are absolutely going to smash this month like we've been smashing this year. And the way that you do it is you get free content for just hitting that like button. It's free of charge, it doesn't hurt, it literally burns a calorie or two. And finally, if you like the content, you like the basic presentation, and you actually like coming in, getting 20 minutes of Chelsea dietitian, nutrition, and then getting out and enjoying the rest of your day, subscribe, right? We're aiming for 50,000 subscribers. You doing your part really helps me out. Do it, it's free content. Chelsea fans, this is difficult for me right now. The rival fans, I think you need to listen to this as well, because Javi Simons is doing what I don't like. A lot of people say you can't keep players in contracts that they signed, because if they want to leave and change jobs, they should be allowed to. I always say the same thing. I don't think players and clubs should sign deals if they're not willing to respect the nature of the deal. So if I'm agreeing that we're going to be in a marriage for 5 years, I cannot get annoyed and try to force my way out of this at this moment in time. Because at this moment in time, Javi Simons has got 2 years left on his contract. Chelsea want to buy him. Leipzig have their valuation. Chelsea have their valuation. And the move's at a stalemate. So what has happened is Javi Simons has done the classic, I want to force my way out. So if you go to the school of university of forcing yourself out of a transfer move, what do? Number one, you remove the club from the bio. He's publicly removed the Leipzig out of his Instagram bio. I wasn't going to make a video on that. I said that's too childish. We are not doing that. This is not that type of channel. Number two, he has decided not to turn up to training. Now that is a serious thing in my opinion, right? It's a fine. It's a finable offense. He's most probably going to get fined for that. And the reality is, I spoke yesterday about Alexander Isak and the implications for Chelsea and how it doesn't sit right with me what he's doing. At the end of the video, I'll give you a link. You can go check it out. But it doesn't sit right with me that Xavi's doing this. I've explained it yesterday and I'll explain it again. I don't like what we done to Joao Felix, Ben Chilwell, Disasi, and other players in the squad. We've got so many that I literally am starting to forget that they play for the club. You signed them on long-term contracts. Now you're annoyed that they're on long-term contracts and you're trying to force them out so they have to train with someone else. They're almost viewed as the bomb squad, as the media calls them. And I don't like that. I really don't. And in this case, Leipzig gave Javi Simons an opportunity. He done really well at PSV. He moved to Leipzig. He done well. They paid an awful lot of money for him. And now he's not turning up to train. What he's doing is what Geraldo Hato done, right? He's forcing his way out. He's basically telling Leipzig, I ain't playing for you again. Fabrizio Romano reiterated this. He said he's got 2 years left on his deal. He is not signing a new deal. Now it's a matter of Leipzig having their bottle. There is movement. I think this deal will get concluded. He is doing all the things that it's going to take to get him to Chelsea Football Club. The key now is we need to ask ourselves, how does this sit with us? Because if you do something to someone, trust me, this will one day come back to you. Geraldo Hato forced his way out of the club by skipping training, refusing to play. He's not in the right frame of mind. Xavi's doing that for us. What's going to happen one day when a club comes in for an Enzo Fernandez and Enzo wants to leave? What happens when Real Madrid inevitably do that little knock and say, Enzito, vamos aquí. And next thing you know, what's going to happen is Enzo's not turning up to training. We're going to be fuming. This is why I always say, same energy for the clubs, same energy for the players. Guys, just respect your contract. But there is progress on the Javi Simons deal. It's going to happen. I'm telling you. I'm very confident it's going to happen. Some excellent news regarding Geraldo Hato. According to Fabrizio Romano, we already had a here we go. Then it went very quiet for a few days as if the deal was already completed. But what happened is he's fully passed his medical, according to Fabrizio, and the deal is done. The documents are signed. Now it's Chelsea basically doing their PR tour. You know them ones where they're going to get Geraldo Hato doing some sort of thing for the announcement video. Then need to get their impressions, they need to get their interactions, and it's a social media game these days. And you know what? I respect it. So Chelsea, if you ever want me to announce a player, give me a call. I'll do it free of charge. I genuinely will not charge. I will actively participate. It will be an honor of mine. The Kavkas View would happily do one free of charge, and then if the views are good and you lot like my services, we can talk money. We can start talking money. But before that, I'd love to work with the Chelsea. So if the admin team's watching, give me a DM, slide in my DM, message me on Twitter, message me on TikTok. You know where to find me. But Geraldo Hato is officially a Chelsea player according to Fabrizio Romano. The deal's done. You know my views on the player. It's a fantastic deal. We're all very happy. We've got a left back cover, we've got left centre back, and even a worst case scenario, he can do right centre back. I am very excited for this signing. We're going to slow blood him in, but he's going to be 20, leadership qualities for days, top prospect. This is what Blue Co were talking about when they acquired the club. We will get the best youngsters around the world that come in and hit the ground running. I'm excited for this. This next move came out of nowhere. Almost like a Randy Orton RKO. Genuinely. Like 1 minute I'm chilling, I'm like, yo, there's no news today. And boom, 10 o'clock hits and wow, RKO out of nowhere. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano. The Viper strikes again. What's going on? Armando Broja has got his move away from Chelsea, and this time it's not alone. This time the gentleman is leaving on a permanent, yes, on a permanent deal. Number one, it dropped from, I think it was Fabrice Hawkins. After Fabrice Hawkins, it was Ornstein, and then Fabrizio done his thing where he gave us some more detail, but the deal's done. Armando Broja, here we go. I think he has to pass his medical, and it's happy days. Fee is not being discussed. The fee is not being disclosed anywhere. The fee is being hush-hush. However, after a little bit of digging, because you know me, I love to go and dig and find out the truth, what we know is Chelsea's valuation is 25 million. That was the original valuation leaked. After that, what was said was it met Chelsea's valuation. So people are jumping to conclusions that it's 25 million. However, today, BBC Sports have confirmed that the deal in total is 20 million pounds. Look, guys, a lot of you would say we are getting bumped here. What I'm going to say is you're getting Armando off the wage bill. You're making pure profit because he came out of the academy. You made a loan fee when you loaned him to Everton. You made a loan fee when you loaned him to Southampton. You got a loan fee when you, I think, sent him to Vitesse Arnhem. This is a player that basically had his career ruined by injuries. And I feel really sorry for this kid. This is a very talented kid. This is a kid that had good explosion, could run in behind, good ball striker, shoots with instinct straight away as soon as he sees the sight of goal. He had everything you need to be a decent Premier League player. Never Chelsea level. We never knew what he would become, and we're never going to see because of these injuries. But what we can see is he's going to have a long, illustrious career in the Premier League or top level championship. Now he's Burnley's player, and good luck to him. Thank you for everything you've done. There was one goal that he scored. I remember he cut in at the bridge, curled it in, and it was a beautiful goal. It was under Graham Potter, and his career just never recovered after that injury against Aston Villa in the friendly. I remember when that happened, if he made it to the start of the season, there was a very good chance he was going to be our number one striker. He was going to get a very fair crack. They started isolating Aubameyang out of the team. He was going to be the number 9 rather than Havertz, and everything was going to be built around him for the next 6 months. Whether he would have banged with the opportunity, we never know. That injury ruined everything. He's never recovered from it. I think he needs a fresh start, and the pure profit for us, 20 million, is good money, man, because even if it's 10, 12 million plus add-ons plus a sell-on, you know how Chelsea love to do it. You get him off the books. He's no longer your player. You no longer have to deal with the admin. You don't have to pay his wages. And you make good profit on someone that you developed as a kid. So, happy days. Broja's career moves on. We move on. Everybody's happy. This Christopher Enkungu saga is getting very interesting, right? Because we need to talk about Christopher Enkungu. What happened is Christopher Enkungu came into Chelsea. We know the drill, right? He came in October, and it was a pre-contract that he was going to join us in that summer. The World Cup happened. He got injured at a training camp, never recovered from his injury, came back properly. All of a sudden under Pochettino, really balled out in pre-season, got injured. We basically missed him for the whole season, apart from the last 6-7 games. And Enkungu broke into the team, looked decent. Enzo Maresca came in, had a very good pre-season, and then everything started deteriorating. Maresca lost interest in him. He looked unbothered. He looked very lethargic, very slow, disinterested. And what ended up happening is people started judging his quality rather than his application. The quality's there. You know he's a baller. You know technically he's gifted. The issue has been application, right? The physicality is not there. So he's one of those players, when he's not giving everything, he looks slow, he looks lethargic, he looks tired, and people say he's not trying. And the word term lack of application is thrown at. And what ends up happening from that point onwards, fans start picking on him. And it got to the point now where everybody wanted to get rid of him. At the Club World Cup, Enzo Maresca changed the system a little bit, and the system started suiting Enkungu. And Enkungu started expressing himself. And now what's happened is he's been linked with a lot of clubs. Bayern Munich have been interested, Liverpool have been interested, but Arsenal have been interested, Newcastle are interested, and Inter Milan now are interested. Where he's going to go, we don't know. What we also know is Inter Milan had a 43 million euro bid rejected. The bid was rejected. Why? Atalanta want more money for Ademola Lookman. The Nigerian international is very talented. I really like the player. He's my favorite Nigerian player at the moment. I think he's an absolute baller. He expresses himself when he's on the ball, takes risks, takes shots from different angles. He's just brave. I love brave players, right? I love players that are direct and brave. And the problem here is Atalanta are basically standing firm. They're not letting this guy go. Milan had 2 bids rejected. Milan now are discussing a move for Enkungu with his agents. Listen, 43 million euros, I'll take that money. I'm not going to lie to you, because Enkungu doesn't have a future at Chelsea, apparently. According to L'Equipe, and this is what coming out of the French media now, they're saying, and this is coming from Fabrizio, it's not an obligation to sell Christopher Enkungu. Enzo Maresca doesn't want to sell him. If he stays, it's happy days. And I think it's so impressive how everything's changed so quickly, because all of a sudden, he can play in the 10, he can play on the left, and he can play in the false 9, but mainly on the left and the 10, right? But if Xavi Simons comes in, that's the Xavi Simons role. You have to move him on. And I think they will move him on. I think he'll go to Inter Milan. I think he will shine at Inter Milan. The idea of Thuram and him, a very good combination, you know? But the problem is Lauti's there. You've got Lautaro Martinez, you've got Thuram, and now you've got Enkungu. That is a very, very good attack. That is a solid attack. That is 2 up top, express yourself, 3 at the back, 5 in midfield, and you're shining. Inter Milan will be favourites, in my opinion, to win the league, even with the additions Napoli done. But it would benefit Chelsea. Hopefully we get the numbers we want, but we're negotiating with Italian clubs. You know how it works. They're going to take their time. They're going to be slow. They're going to be annoying. They're going to try to get every penny of us, and the terms of that condition will have to be exactly in their favour. It's always the case. We saw it with Mike Mignan. Even when Milan were in a weak position, right? AC Milan still wanted to control the deal, and they annoyed us. They annoyed, Atletico Madrid with Hernandez. They are a very frustrating club to deal with, and Inter is no different. So, if you want to go see my stance on the Isak situation and how it impacts Chelsea, the view is here. If you want to hit that like button on your way out, because you're very grateful for the free content I produce on a regular basis, down there. And finally, subscribe to the channel. It's the best place for you to keep up with the latest news. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.